didn't work. Hey Kane, great to have you here.
Really good to be here, thank you very much.
And welcome everybody, lovely to have you on. This is the first of 4 of these, bit different. This is me kind of out of the driving seat, and the star of the show today is very much going to be Korp. Forgive me if I'm going to kind of jump between Korp and Kane, because...
Whatever you remember, yeah.
Yeah, I did just need to look at your hat.
It's fine. Yeah.
No, Korp is a great friend of mine, and used to be neighbours actually, but you're a fantastic artist. I love the work you do. Thank you. I wanted to reach out to you because this is what you're doing. You've kind of shifted to online teaching.
Yeah, pretty much. So at the beginning of the pandemic, I kind of moved everything online because that was what everybody had to do. So unfortunate circumstances, but a very fortunate time for me. And it's always something I'd planned to do, is go online, but it just kind of forced me to do it. And then since then, what I found is there's loads of people that just prefer online.
Yeah,
you can't engage. I could only engage previously with an audience that was here, that was local.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas now there's people that I can broadcast to that are all over the world, and there's also people like who have reasons for staying at home. So maybe they care for somebody, or maybe they've got anxiety. They don't go out much. So it's about kind of reaching out to those people as well.
And it's typically live streaming.
I do live streaming mostly. It's usually through Zoom, so that I can interact with my audience as well. Because we're doing drawing, I like to be able to see what they're drawing. That's one of the big misses from going online, is that you can't always see what they're drawing. 9 times out of 10, when I'm drawing stuff, if I look up at the camera or the screen, what I'm seeing is a load of people's heads kind of just happily drawing. I can't always see what they're drawing. So, I get them to hold it up to screen every now and then as well, so I can see what they're doing.
That's a great idea, though. And I know we've got... Well, actually, tomorrow we're going to be talking fitness instructors, and the same kind of thing as they're looking at poses and stuff. They want to be able to see, are they, like you'd go around the classroom, I suppose. And well, we kind of relate to that. I think just looking in the chat over here, Nobby, bless him, was up saying it's 4 o'clock in the morning in Australia. Valerie is again in California, so she's like 9 o'clock in the morning. And guys all over the place in between that. So I think I get that it's fantastic, really. Obviously it was unfortunate us getting into this, but it certainly opened up a whole new world for us of accessibility and cool. So I've kind of so Kane's come along and is already doing this, and you've already got a studio set up doing work like this. Yeah.
So essentially, I've got a vintage caravan in my backyard with an electric supply in it, where it's nowhere near as big as what you've got here, but it does it does this job for me. You know, there's a camera quite close to me, a camera for face on, and then we've got the top down camera as well, so people can see what I'm drawing. I tend to only have 2 cameras, whereas I know you've got like three or 4 kind of going on at the moment. But yeah, that's it, and I just broadcast from there.
And you were saying 90% of what you're doing is just this down shot anyway, really?
Yeah. So, I'd launch into the session. I'd be waiting for people to kind of all log in, give them like 2 or 3 minutes to log in. And then we'd all have a chat. People will be showing me their artwork and things like that. And then, very quickly, it'll be right, okay, let's get on with it. And we do some drawing. So it's top-down camera. That is for the Korp Academy stuff, which is where I'm specifically teaching. When I'm broadcasting on like Twitch or YouTube or something like that, then I'll always have my head in like the corner of the screen. Okay. So I can I feel like I'm engaging more with people if they can see my face. Yeah, definitely. Rather than just seeing the artwork.
Well, that's brilliant. And I think that's, so you're new to Ecamm, just got a copy of Ecamm and keen to sort of have a play. So we've put together here some basic scenes, and I think most of the folk that are watching will be familiar with Ecamm. If you're not, this is what used to be really very much a live streaming software, but now it's, folk are using this. I found it quite staggering, actually, that I found out from Ecamm recently that less than half of the people that use Ecamm are actually using it to live stream. Right. They're using it as a recording tool and for sending this out, as you're saying, then to Zoom. Yeah. So not technically live streaming as we are now, but using the virtual camera and sending it out. Those that are on will be fairly familiar that we've set up a few scenes here with, I've put Korp as a front camera here, and I'm deliberately tucking off to the side. This is, and I know you were saying you have a different setup normally to this, and we could have brought this in. Yeah. But I think it's quite fun. We've shifted the office around.
Yeah, 100%. What I like about this is that from the front camera, normally mine is so tight in, you can just see my face.
Yeah.
But what I like about this, you can actually see a bit of the desk, a bit of the layout. You can get a bit more involved in what the whole thing looks like, rather than just these real cropped up close-ups of my face or the sketchbook. And
I think, your pens and that are there, and you can kind of, it feels, you get the environment really of how you're sitting and working. And
yeah, exactly.
Totally get that can, what a benefit that could be. So we got a front camera. I deliberately just put a second camera over there, more really because I'm conscious I didn't want to squeeze in here on this one, and I wanted that to be, let's have one of the Korp show really, and then I can have this one over here that I can come in. And then we do have a top camera, and we've got a wider top camera, and then we've got this cropped in one as well.
Yeah.
And you were suggesting as well, potentially kind of even zooming in more than that.
Yeah, definitely. When I'm doing live sessions, normally most of my stuff is quite simple. I like to keep it simple so people can start and finish within an hour of a live session. But every now and then something gets a little bit tricky, a couple of difficult lines, or maybe we're like, if we do a bit of drawing today, like when we get into the teeth are a little bit more detailed. So it's great to be able to like zoom in quite a lot and then be able to pan around the screen as well, so you can pick up certain sections of the sketchbook.
Well, I feel that we should probably jump into this and let you have a go at doing some drawing.
Yeah.
I think we can build this up as we go. And actually what we've done, I haven't even used this yet, but you're the first one to try this new 𝗷𝗏𝗄𝗄 pedal that we've got. Again, I thought of you when we were, we got a few lives coming up, like I say, and we're thinking, actually, let's get this in as something that we can play with and test out, because I really think, I can't say to you, hey, I think this would be great for you if we haven't actually used it. So
yeah. I've done 500 sessions now, 500 Zoom sessions. Every single time, if I'm switching between scenes, I'm always using my hand to do it. So that neuro pathway is like really built in strong at the moment.
So if we see you pause, it's going to be like
I'll be looking under the desk, trying to figure out where things are. I'm sure it'll become natural really quickly because it fits. The pedals are quite big, that they're kind of easy to use. But it'd be interesting to see if I can remember to just press it with my foot rather than just using my hands all the time.
Yeah, I got another customer she's a music teacher on piano, and I think how cool to be able to cut between angles as you're playing the piano there.
But don't they use their feet when they're playing piano? Anyway,
probably, yeah.
That'd be difficult. It'd be like trying to change the tone of the piano and they're just changing the screen.
I don't know. Cool, right. Let's what's this? So Ed saying he coaches keyboard players. Looking forward to learning about the use of an overhead camera. Brilliant. In Seattle, 9 a.m. So we could just jump straight into this top view. Mm-hmm. What I'm wondering is whether we actually... Well, I think we ought to put you in here. So if I come over to my live demo mode a minute, feel free, if you want to start doing some drawing here, I'm just going to have a fiddle with this as you're drawing and just bring you into this.
So if anybody does want to join in with the drawing, all you'll need is a Sharpie. I'm going to keep it nice and simple today as well. So you don't need any pencils. Pencils for losers. Just grab a Sharpie or a Posca pen like that, and we'll give it a go.
Talk into these Posca pens. They're different sort of sizes, and what are you...
Yeah, so they've got quite a low skill level threshold of Posca pens, so they're very easy to learn how to use. So you don't need to be a particularly talented person to be able to use these really well.
You're not going to go out and buy the wrong ones.
If you go for Posca paint markers, that's the benchmark.
Okay.
Really, there's other brands available.
We'll do our top down and just see what you're using.
They're the kind of ones you want to use. The other thing is that they're full of paint rather than ink. So if you make a mistake, the paint will just go over the top of that mistake. You just got to wait for it to dry, and then it makes things disappear. That also gives you a bit more makes you a bit more daring. Do you know what I mean? It's like I can take a risk on this next thing because I know if I mess it up, it's easy enough to cover up.
So does that mean you start with lighter colours and work?
Not necessarily. No, you can put white over the top of black. So it's, that's the way these pens work.
Cool, like Tipp-Ex. Takes me back.
Yeah, I mean you could dumb it down a bit if you want. It's just like Tipp-Ex. Yeah? Okay.
Right, come on then. Let's bring you in on here.
Yeah, you go for it.
So talk to us. What we're doing then? You have a style, don't you?
So all the marker pen work that I do is it's all nice and easy. It's very illustrative in nature. There's a couple of things that I like to do as well. One is called double lining. So anybody who's doing this, we're going to double line everything that we do. So double lining is that's like a C shape. Yeah, that's a nose that we've just done. But when I double line, I'm just going to go over it again, turn it into a wonky line. The reason I do that is because wonky lines are easy to draw, and personally, I think they look better as well. You know, too many people get hung up on trying to go for something smooth and perfection, and whereas if you're trying to do the whole thing with wonky lines, it'll look just as good. So that's why I go with that. So start off with that. That's a C shape right in the middle of the page on the left-hand side as well. Big old C shape for a nose. Then flick a line up. That's going to become the bridge of the nose. If we carry on going, we're going to go and throw in some eyeballs. Now, when I do eyeballs, I don't really do them as like a perfect circle. That's, again, a bit too difficult to go after. So I usually go for like more like a 50p piece kind of shape. So anything wonky like that. But again, double lining it. Just remember to double line everything you do. So the only consistent thing about your lines should be how inconsistent they are.
I like that.
So there you go. We're in with a nose and an eyeball. Let's go and put an eyeball on the other side as well. So this one's going to be a little bit more on the inside of the page.
Right, and while we're
there we go. We're doing me on the screen, yeah.
I'm just putting you up on the screen here as well. Then, so let's come back out of this demo mode and back in.
So this is more like what I'd have on my Twitch feed, but when I'm using OBS at the moment, even I'm moving over to Ecamm. What you don't get with OBS is like being able to put it in a circle and cool things like that. I really like that.
Oh, we can do loads here. I could get really carried away with all these shapes. We've got squircles over in Ecamm.
No way, because I use squircle loads in the workshops. Yeah, I thought that was unique to me. I tell people to draw squircles all the time. Yeah.
So these are our.
That's really cool. Yeah.
There you go.
I can tell people what shape to draw based on the window that I'm sitting in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So there we go. Second eyeball in, nice and easy. I always leave the pupils till the end as well. So if I accidentally smudge something, if I make a mistake during a live session, to show people not to panic about it, what I'll do is I'll say, right, just leave the eyeballs till the end, and then maybe if I've got I've got a bit of paint there and I've accidentally lent on, and all of a sudden I've got a smudge there.
Yeah.
It's a case of not panicking about it. What I'd do is I'd normally turn that into a fly, and then I'd have the pupils kind of looking down at the fly, so it always looks like you've done it on purpose. It's a good way of hiding mistakes, future mistakes that you might make. If you don't make any mistakes, put the pupils anywhere. But yeah, that's a top tip from me.
Brilliant. The other thing I can do as well, Kane, while I'm on that is, well, your camera is in this little window. If I wanted to, look, we could zoom you in on here and actually come in closer if that felt better.
I tell you, one of my big issues when I'm streaming is because I'm looking down all the time, so people just see the peak of my cap.
Yeah.
So I quite like the fact that this camera it's about a foot lower than I normally have mine.
Okay.
Just because of the Elgato stand that I'm using, but it's a really nice angle. This angle.
It is, and I think we've looked at this. I would normally have it higher if I just want to catch my head.
Yeah.
But for these sort of shots where we want to get the desk in as well, I think it just works really nicely.
I really like being able to see the desk.
Yeah.
I think it just ties the two screens together, being able to see the desk in both shots.
Yeah. What I am just going to do, sorry, this is set to, should stop now, although now I've got a little wobble on it. I just was conscious that we've got this set to...
No need to apologise.
Thank you, Siri.
They love Siri. I was conscious that was zooming in and out to your hand. So this is a setting that you can have in the camera to autofocus and follow with that.
And I think this is something that a lot of people using top-down cameras will be at odds with.
Yeah.
Because from one instance, I want that to be the zoom point,
yeah,
whether that is. But every now and then I'm like, I'll be going to people, they're like, this is the colour you want, and I'll hold it up to the screen. I want it to focus on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's focusing on the top part here rather than that, most of the time, that's a bit of a problem. So I find turning autofocus off on that top-down camera is the way to go.
And actually, see, we've got this camera on a long boom arm here, and so me touching it creates a wobble. I think you've got yours locked down on a bar, haven't you? So I guess touching it doesn't sort of move around as much.
You know, the overhead rig was one of my biggest challenges when I started doing these sessions.
Yeah.
My first ever overhead rig was like a temporary clothes rail.
Yeah, yeah.
I just took that apart. So, because it was two metal bars over there. It was reasonably stable. Had a bar going across the top as well. And then it was a web camera with a bit of gaffer tape around it just to hold it in place.
Yeah.
And for the first, I guess, 2 months, that's what I was broadcasting on.
Yeah.
Nobody knew, because at that stage I wouldn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
That's how amateur it was.
Who cares?
Don't mind telling them now. Yeah. I've now upgraded to a shower pole, which goes across. It fits the width of the caravan perfectly, and just holds the camera in just the perfect spot. And also because it's stable with the side of the
suction bits.
it doesn't wobble as well. That's the other issue I was getting if I like move around, if I'm touching the desk, because my camera used to be attached to my desk.
Yes.
You'd get a bit of a wobble, and because you've got an arm and an arm, it used to kind of...
Yeah, the further out it goes, for sure. Yeah. So what's this? Someone's just asking, what's the... Okay, Owen's already on that and answering the questions. Jasmine's just asking, what's the top-down camera? It really could be anything, Jasmine, for... we kind of grabbed the nearest one. We've got a few cameras. I mean, you're set up with the Panasonic G7, aren't you? Which is what we used to have here.
For me, the main consideration on that as well, sorry to butt in, would be, and I kind of noticed this when we were setting up here, is that if the view, the screen that you get on the camera, you want to have that, because generally your camera is going to be the wrong way around.
Yeah.
It's going to be facing the wrong way around. So you've got to make sure your viewfinder is going to be adjustable so that you can see it clearly from this angle and tweak it. Because the last thing you want is to have to keep reading it upside down every time you set up.
Totally. And that's that's again another feature that we've got in. So we in here, when we first put this together, Korp was just saying, oh no, it's upside down. But we can actually, I can totally rotate this inside of Ecamm. It allows me to rotate like this, and does a really nice job of that. What do I just clicked? There we go.
So yeah, one of the other things that I really one of my limitations, I guess, on OBS was being able to zoom in, especially zooming in on the fly as well. I did at one stage consider maybe having like a mobile phone on one of those boom mics, that, like an angle poise lamp, where you could just bring it in. Yeah. But that felt a bit messy. I like this kind of squared off top-down camera that we've got now. So, but yeah, zooming in, panning around the screen, because like, for example, now I'm going to go and do a little bit more detail in the teeth. So to be able to zoom right into the teeth so I can show you what we're going to do there.
So I can zoom, that's about as much as I can go with this camera and setup. Yeah. Does that work?
That's good, yeah.
And I can kind of bring it this way a bit as well, so we'd...
That's the beauty of it, being able to pan as well. Zooming is pretty easy. You could even just zoom from the camera sometimes, but being able to pan around is nice, so that wherever I'm drawing is the center of the screen.
That's good. I'm just sitting watching. And yes, Jasmine, you're saying there about the viewfinder being adjustable. Yes, having one is what Korp's on about, really, that not having one that's fixed to the back of the camera that you can't see when you're in this position, but one that actually you can have like this.
But one that pivots in the right way as well, because some will only pivot a certain way, won't they? Yeah. And if you consider the angle your camera's going to be at, just make sure that viewfinder comes all the way around for you.
It's kind of thinking which direction it's come in on, that the tripod's going to attach, or the arm's going to attach to the bottom of it. So it's either coming over your head. I found as well that I see people as well that come with this sort of angled from the front and then flip it around, and it feels a bit weird, like we're kind of almost tripping looking over the top. So I think we spent a bit of time really trying to get this lined up so it's perfectly overhead there. Yeah, and generally what I do when I'm broadcasting myself is I wouldn't have my desk right in front of me here. It'd usually be just about over here a little bit, mainly because I find myself leaning over quite a lot, and you can see my cap kind of comes into shot. Yeah. So just to have it slightly over to the left, slightly over to the right hand side or left hand side, depending if you're left or right handed, is again really useful. So it looks a bit lopsided, your desk, but nobody sees that. Yeah. Usually. Yeah. This is quite a simple drawing, so having it right in the middle is fine. I don't have to get too close into it. That's really cool. I think as well, you carry on drawing there. One of the other things that we considered here was actually having to go with green screen with this. Is that anything you've done or played with?
So when I first got onto your YouTube Academy, and I think I remember seeing you demonstrating how to have like a green screen background, so that rather than me being in a window, which I am now, of me being kind of at the bottom of the screen, but almost like the weather reporter, being able to point with my hand here, say this is the line you want to draw, just here. Right. So I have done that a few times. I guess my studio, there isn't enough illumination in my studio to have a flat green screen. It takes a long time for me to get the lights in the right position, so that it all shows and you don't get any dodgy patches.
We could have I'm just keen to have a little play with that actually. So I'm going to pop because I feel like I'm not earning my keep here really, and you're doing all the work for me. So what I might do as you're working there is just bring in, folk will see me just bringing in a different camera at the side here. But this, so we're looking at camera A, and I'm going to say custom size. I'm going to take this border off of here and the radius down. And so what I should be able to do is pull you in like this. Let's for a minute just take off that top one. And I'm going to crop in these edges. Actually, we could almost do it with a blue screen, I think, with this background. I think that would kind of work. But so if I sit that... Woo! That's totally gone wonky on me. Don't worry. You keep working.
Like I keep saying to all my students, I keep saying wonky is good. Wonky's your friend. Just embrace that wonkiness.
I tell you what it is. It's the first time I've worked on it. Owen will be laughing at me. It's the first time I'm working on a trackpad actually, rather than normally my mouse at the side of me. But I'm going to hit on this green screen and say transparent. And I've got a green screen right here behind Kane, and there you go.
Perfect.
That's all right, isn't it?
I love that. Yeah,
it's a little bit odd that your hands are in it as well, I guess. But
yeah. Yeah, I'd crop the desk out if it was me. But
think?
just to be able to say that, you know, this is the bit to concentrate on and be able to point at it.
So okay. Yeah?
Yeah, I like that. That works really well for me. Yeah, that's brilliant.
I guess if we were on if you'd got like an A3 sheet of white paper here, it was all the background, then that would almost sit. That would be the difference, I guess, of you sitting over the front of a blank bit of paper here.
Yeah.
You're kind of over the front of your hand at the minute.
That's why I have this like cutting mat with all the stickers on, because when you first start and you just got a blank bit of paper and a blank background, it does look a little bit boring. Where this is all kind of a bit chaotic, and a bit messy, and it just kind of it helps create the vibe.
Totally does. Valerie, is it cracking Valerie up, moving you around? Yeah, I know, Valerie. I'm struggling a bit here. I might have to get my mouse out. But made the mistake of starting today doing as we've switched the office around here ready for Korp coming in, we thought we'd try the new MacBook Pro out, and it probably wasn't our best idea. This is cool.
It's coming along all right, yeah.
I've cropped it a bit tight, haven't I? My camera's, let's get into the top camera and let's zoom it out.
Yeah, that's it. That's perfect. Yeah. So one of the other things I really like to do is, as well as when I've done these videos are all kind of wide format. But I'll upload these to like TikTok and I'm getting a lot of traction from YouTube Shorts.
Yes.
As well. That's just pumping them out there at the moment. And then for that one, I'm doing like a completely different aspect ratio, so it's really tall. In there as well. So I usually have like up top here is a second camera that's just a phone that's just capturing that image as well.
But you could crop this out afterwards and convert this across to, just taking that middle section out.
Yeah, that's what I kind of like as well. The opportunity of being able to get that raw footage and do something with it.
Yeah.
So I am doing an ice lolly. Hey. If anybody, just in case anybody didn't know what was going on here.
Okay. Marlene's just asking about the audio. Marlene, I can't. I'm afraid this is. I think it's about as much as I can get on this microphone. We were just debating on which was the best setup, and really at the last minute changed this over. Let me see if I can jump in here.
What's wrong with the audio? We're not loud enough?
Just saying we're not loud enough, right. No. We're on maximum gain. Yeah, sorry. Normally this mic would be closer in fact. There we go. Let's get this in a bit closer. It's now in the shot, but that's cool. Oh, but now it's in the middle of our top down.
In the middle of our top. Oh yeah. I see it on the
I've
top
seen
down
it.
as well. Yeah. So I use a quadcast mic, which has got it's a small one, desktop one as well, but the base of it is really small.
Yeah.
But then the mic kind of sits up there, and you can tell it which angle to get the audio from as well. So I just set it to front. Usually sits about here, so just above my sketchbook, which is a good place for me because, you know, for a few minutes I'm talking face on camera, but then for another few minutes I'm like down here. So having a mic that's up high just doesn't work. So something low is the best option. That
was part of the challenge here, was saying we don't want this. We've got another microphone sitting above, but then we realised actually if Kane's got his head down here, then it's not going to be. Does Korp use any kind of viewer gaming engagement through widget overlays and such? Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm on Ko-fi at the moment, which is it's like Patreon. It's a place that people can kind of donate money to you. And what I really like about Ko-fi is they've got a whole page full of widgets that are just so easy. As long as you can put some HTML into the screen, into the scene, then you can add all these kind of widgets. So I have one that just kind of shows me how well I'm doing on my current goal. So that will sit. So normally I'd be on screen like this. Just under here there'll be the goal.
Nice.
There'll be another bit up in the corner that will tell you, who's a new follower, who's just donated and things like that. So I don't do that in my live sessions with the Korp Academy because most people there are paid subscribers.
Okay.
So they
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they subscribe separately. But if I'm doing a live Twitch feed or something like that, or YouTube, that's when I work it out.
Good. And good question. Any other questions coming? Well, Korp's working away here. Flickering, that's coming through? Yeah. We were just messing around with this right at the start. I've got a completely new setup that I think we need to do a lot of work on in the morning. Would a lav mic be a good option? Yeah, absolutely, Marlene. I did kind of think this could be a second option. The challenge is just where do we stick it? I think they're great if you're in a, maybe you're presenting and you've got a shirt and tie on type thing. That's quite easy to clip something on. But when like you and I are both sitting here in t-shirts, it's quite hard to stick that on without it looking quite clumpy.
I think it would need to be a wireless one as well. I had a wired lav mic that I started using at first, but then it became a bit more one more thing to set up.
Yeah,
having a mic on the desk. I've not had any feedback on my own broadcast that the audio is low, so I think it's just a one-off that it's happening here.
Yeah, it's just us.
But yeah, I prefer something small that's on your desk that you can get quite close into your face that isn't really on camera as well. Although the quadcast does have some pretty colours on it, so it does look quite nice when you get it on camera. And I like to have that kind of gaming feel to it. Like, you watch gamers that are playing computer games that have all the RGB colours in the background. Yes. I have that kind of feel in my workshops as well. Cool. So I'll have the lights on and stuff like that.
So you probably could sit one of the headset mics, or we could put a head-worn mic sort of thing, like some of the fitness instructors wear, and
with the earphones and the mic.
Yeah, I
don't know.
Some do. I don't like that.
No, it feels a bit too separate.
Like the speakers have the the presenters just have these very subtle microphones on.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at? There's one over there. Yeah, there is one over there. Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to describe it, and there's one sitting over there. But yes, Bronwyn says about using a wireless mic taped under your shirt. That's true. You can actually get little stickers. Although I remember seeing that like sports tape that you if you're for muscles and things, you're sort of holding them.
Yeah.
Is a good one, but I found they fall off. But yeah, good shout, Bronwyn. To make up for the low noise, I'm loving the colourful desktop. There we go.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a cutting mat, so it's mobile, which I can take it anywhere. It also, what it helps with is if I turn this over, there's no stickers underneath, and it's like a grid. So it really helps from setting your top-down camera and making sure you're really straight, because otherwise you're spending like half an hour, because just getting it at the right angle, at the right zoom and all that kind of stuff, having that grid there is just really, really helpful, really useful.
Totally.
And all these stickers are like from my artist friends as well. So
really?
Yeah, none I've bought in. They're all kind of like, so that's
I
Roots,
love that.
Process, Irony. This one was a Banksy one.
Fantastic.
Yeah, 𝗘𝗰𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺 over here and like art-gecko. These are the people that make the sketchbooks. That's probably as commercial as it gets.
Cool.
Just there.
I love that idea. You need a way to kind of bring in some of your students' work, actually, like to kind of virtually put that.
Yeah.
Print some bits.
One of the things I really would love to do going forward is do like a more visual podcast.
Yeah.
So it's like getting another artist online, inviting them in as a guest, so that you could see.
Yeah.
You can see me and me drawing. You can see the other person and them drawing as well, whilst we're having a conversation about tips and what pens we use, what techniques we use, what works for us, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, you can absolutely be doing that and bringing them in through Ecamm as a guest, sharing. I guess you're relying on them having a setup that they can shoot a camera down or.
Yeah. Which a lot of them have, because they stream anyway. So most of them have got like that top down and face on camera already set up.
Okay.
But not a lot of them will go then thinking, right, I could do a podcast, or I could stream with somebody else.
I could totally see that. Yeah, it's been a fantastic show. And you could, so you've already talked about a bit of repurposing, really, of you'll take this and you can slice this out and you can upload these as a time lapse or a short that you can use. And I guess that, to me, that's the sort of thing that if, we're looking at a full length one here, but to actually then watch this over, like you say, sort of 7 seconds and then go, come and watch the full version here.
For me, that's exactly why I do it. So I've got like the 7 second, which is like the advert. Then I've got the 3-minute version, which people can pay for on Ko-fi to get access to the 3-minute video.
Okay.
So if they're in a rush, they ain't got time to sit down for the whole thing, just want to whip through it really fast, which some people are like that. They just want to do it quickly. That's fine. But then I've also got the whole kind of full 1 hour, edited videos where I've taken out all the, because it's on Zoom, a lot of the time we'll have the students in. Halfway through, we'll have the students in. So I make sure that all kind of gets filtered out and people don't see that stuff. They can still hear what's going on, but that's like blanked out. So there's like for protection reasons.
Yeah, totally. We've really changed this background. Look at that with the green screen over there and seeing that's
nice.
You're on and. So in terms of the if we've got other artists and folk that are on and interested in how they could use this, so you found that to be a good model then with people coming in as into a membership.
Yeah. So my model now is that people can join the live sessions. They sign up on my website. So I work with there's an app called Paid Members on Weebly, and people can just subscribe. I can set a plan, they can subscribe, and by subscribing they get access to certain pages on my website, membership website, and those pages will have links to the Zoom sessions. Pages will also be like a blog post, so they'll also have like unlisted YouTube videos in there, which are replays sessions, which so anybody signing up gets instant access to like 500 drawing tutorials. And so, when I first started and it was just a couple of tutorials, it wasn't that great. But, when I got to this point now, that's a real strong selling
somebody
point.
Somebody jumping in now goes, wow.
So I don't, you won't be able to go to Skillshare even and type in Posca and get 500 Posca videos, whereas you can with me. So, I do that. And then like the one bit I've changed more recently is going to Ko-fi, where I just supply the replay videos, because not everybody, I know you've got some dedicated people in here today, but not everybody wants to kind of get up at a certain time and has the ability to kind of join you at 6 a.m. or whatever, but they still want to take part and they still want to be part of that community. I've made it a little bit cheaper for the replay videos that go out there as well.
And did you mention that these are deliberately then, the session sits on its own? You're live?
Yeah. So I don't generally do courses. A lot of people ask me, if I miss a session, is that a problem? And it's genuinely not, because we start and finish within an hour, and for me it's all about that instant, quick fix, so that people aren't they don't have to stay for 6 weeks if they've not got the attention span for it. Generally, I'm doing like half an hour's worth of drawing, but because it's step by step. So I'd normally be talking about do this line, this is why we're doing this line, that kind of stuff. It's just so that it's nice and quick and easy. It's not really designed for artists either. It's designed for people that want to do something creative, but don't think they can. And I love that's my passion. It's being able to show people. There was a bit.
We were laughing earlier actually because I was talking to Kane about one of the next things we should do maybe is that using an iPad and writing on the screen, and I'm saying we kind of do that, and Kane mentioned that he thought he was surprised I actually had a pen because my drawings when I demonstrate this are so bad he assumed I was using my finger on it.
It just looked like you were using your finger, yeah. I'm sorry.
So I don't see myself coming through and doing this. Are you suggesting that there is hope and I could actually...
Oh, 100%, yeah. Next time round, this is what we do, is that, you join in.
Is that right?
Well. Yeah. If you can join in, host this, whilst also drawing a picture as well. And then, if it don't work out well, I'll just slip you a good picture underneath the desk. And
maybe I should join in on one of your next... come and join your membership and join me in your next live classes.
Yeah, exactly.
But I might find that I'm holding up... It might not be my real picture that I'm holding up at the end.
A photocopy of one that you printed.
I can just sit
recently.
here at this angle, kind of looking like I'm busy, and then just hold up something. Yeah. No, fantastic. Any questions really for Korp on this, or to do with the art, or to do with what we're doing? Where's my picture? Says Valerie. We have. Maybe I would love to. It's one of them things. It's a funny thing, isn't it? Because I kind of look at this and go, I'd love to be able to do this and be able to draw. But it's the same with music. And I kind of think, I'd love to be able to play the guitar. But in reality, Rachel will be watching now going, you ain't going to do that.
No, but this is what I like about this, is that I think unlike playing a guitar or an instrument or something like that, where you do need to, you do need to knuckle down. You do need to concentrate. You do need to remember certain things. With this, I like to keep it nice and simple. You can start and finish within an hour. Don't really need any skills. If you can hold a pen, if you can draw a wonky line, you're halfway there. And can I show you some of the other ones?
Yeah, do please.
Just to give people a bit more of an idea of the kind of stuff that we're drawing as well. So it's that was a real quick one that's taken about 20 minutes. Or so. The 1 hour lessons just go into a little bit more detail. So these are the kind of things that we're drawing. And so each one of these is a 1 hour session. Online.
I love that. So you could kind of see the image and go, okay, I'm going to learn how to draw this.
Yeah. And I think most of these are from the last couple of months.
That's some amazing work.
Yeah, I do 20 sessions a month. So if somebody wants to be productive and they want to learn fast and they want to just attend a few of these sessions, by the end of the month they'll have 20. By the end of the year they'll have hundreds of 100 and something pictures. Yeah,
I'm surprised actually that you're doing both sides of the book there, because could you not cut these out and be selling these, or almost could that be an incentive that someone gets the drawing at the end? And
I often I've recently started I turned my Wednesday Posca Club session, which was a live session, turned it into a pre-recorded session,
right.
So and then what I do on there is I'll just grab a bit of cardboard and I'll just be drawing on the cardboard instead of a sketchbook, and then that becomes something that can be sold. I also I have a drawing competition, and the winner of the drawing competition wins a prize, a voucher to spend in my shop, which is the same price as one of the pieces of artwork, which I've kind of half priced it so that people can afford it just from winning this drawing competition. So just a way of keeping people creative, keeping them engaged, keeping them wanting to do something.
And almost, somebody mentioned earlier about having a bit of fun like that with the interactive side of it. You could almost raffle off this drawing at the end, and for those that have been involved and sent in, you could send off the...
There's loads of things. People like sketchbook tours as well. So when the sketchbook's finished, you can then record a little video of a sketchbook tour, and you can just go through every page. Just talking about what you like and what you didn't like about it. All of them, knowing that all of them link back to a tutorial somewhere. So if anybody sees one and thinks, I really like watermelon skull. Can I draw that? I'd really like to draw a radish riding a skateboard. Can I draw that? So they can always link back to them. And then last for the first sketchbook I did, what we did was I worked with 𝗪𝗃𝗄𝗃. So that's these people here, 𝗪𝗃𝗄𝗃. They make these sketchbooks which are perfect for Posca pens. Worked with them and said, if we ran an incentive where if somebody liked their page, liked my page, and then retweeted or whatever, and they get to win the sketchbook. Yeah. So from my point of view, as soon as the sketchbook's full, my job's done. I don't want it anymore. So I'm happy to let it go to somebody else. And because it's in a sketchbook, I don't really want to take it out and try and sell them individually.
Very true. Okay.
But I just like being able to kind of say, right, there's a sketchbook of ideas, and being able to give it to somebody else who then either finish off a few bits or just be motivated by it, hopefully.
Yeah. And each of those could have a link back to the video that shows.
Oh, you got me thinking.
Numbered
now, yeah.
or something on there.
Yeah, put a little QR code.
QR code. Can you draw QR codes?
I'll try it. I might just put write a hyperlink there and just keep it simple. Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, and number them in there. But
yeah.
That's fantastic.
One of the other things that I really wanted to do, well, with these is like when I first start a session, I'm always talking about the colours that people are going to need. And I know that a lot of my people are kind of they're consuming the videos on silent. So they'll watch my line, they know that I'll draw a line and then I'll stop for a few seconds while they draw the line. So it's kind of 𝗏𝗏𝗏 like that. So they can consume them silently. But what that does mean is that when I've got a bunch of pens out like that, they all want to know exactly what colour.
Right.
Hang on. They all want to know.
We just haven't got your green screen anymore.
Pedal works.
Tell you what, we haven't even played with that, have we? Yeah, let's.
But yeah, having some text. Sorry, I was going to say having some text on there that said like they're the colours, but the actual colour. So an overlay that is easy to edit. That says aqua green, light blue, navy blue. They're the colours that you need. That's an important part. So because I'd normally leave that on the start of the video, so that somebody who's watching the start while I'm just waffling on a bit about what we're going to draw. If they're watching it on time lapse or something, they could just quickly scan the colours and go and grab them and get them ready. Because these colours do take a few seconds to prep. You can't just pick them out of the pot and go with them. You have to give them a shake until they stop rattling.
All right. So just on a quick, let me just show you what I'm thinking we could do with that. And if I just come into live demo mode, and then we're going to bring this into land in a few minutes. But I think if we were to, so if I came on here and started off with a blank scene, for instance, we could then bring in your top-down camera could come in. So we've already got this camera view in here. If I move this across and we change this in this case to camera C, and we can actually, what I might do is let's come out of 𝗪𝗀 and we'll go custom, and I might just, well, that's okay actually. We could. I want to just take the cropping off of it if there is any. That's all right. So if you came back to one page again, like you were just working, for instance, and let me just crop into that. Where have we gone with? To sort of there. And if I just crop in on this edge of it. So if this were the actual work that you were doing, what I'm thinking is that potentially you could be having this over here, you could be as big or small as you wanted, and then actually I could bring in some text overlays that without any background on. So what might be a colour, for instance, or is it a number?
Yeah, there'll be numbers for this size. So if you do PC3M, and then just black, that's what we've got there.
So we could kind of list out, you could create something up here, and all I'm thinking is we could go like options, and we said pens used today, and this could kind of, you could play around with this as to how much of the screen you wanted it to take up or not.
Yeah.
You could bring these in one at a time if you wanted. So if we feel like we want to have more of the screen on show, this is really what I love about Ecamm, is just this flexibility to create things as you want. And again, this is kind of where we're going with fitness instructors and that who want to have a session. Maybe they're doing a warm-up and they're listing out several things in the warm-up.
Yeah.
So you go back in and you don't kind of feel precious about once that's finished. And
oh yeah. I mean, this is the good thing about these pens, is that you can mess around with things. And I did one live session where we were finishing a little bit early. So what we did was we took the zombies' eyeballs, we coloured them in, and then drew them kind of attached to what's the bit that kind of attaches your eyeball
retina,
to you?
Sorry, I don't know what
the bit that kind of attaches it to your brain. We had them kind of hanging out as well. So it was just, and sometimes like this tongue is in the mouth, we can draw the tongue so it comes out the mouth. I haven't got the right colour for it here, but yeah, you can really you can change these on the fly, and that's what I like about these pens.
So Sandra's just said, is he using the Elgato pedal? Now we've created a different scene here, but go on, you go for it. You press. Let's see if your buttons are working.
I've used the Elgato pedal once, and even then I had to look down to see where it was. But yeah, as soon as you've got a grip of it on your feet, then you can kind of say, right, okay, so this is what we're going to be drawing today, and then maybe I can come back and say that, well, now everybody's going to go into gallery view in Zoom, hold up your artwork, and we can all show each other what we've been drawing. Okay, we've all seen what you're drawing. Let's go back into the overhead camera and just get back on with it. It's
could
like I was saying
have
earlier,
something with the chat and things like this as well that you could easily and we can do this in Zoom. This is something. Korp's actually going to be joining us in the Ecamm Academy this time around. This is something that we're really going into, is what of the these features that you can then take out into Zoom and things. So you could pull up in the same way that I'm bringing up the chat and comments here. Yeah. You could bring on screen your Zoom comments. So we could play around with this, and you could actually create some scenes. And it's just all about, we've already built out 3 extra scenes since we've been going, and you start to build up and go, okay, I can work with this one. This is fun. This is making my mind get excited for Ecamm Live 4 use in the studio. Absolutely. So let me just mention that actually we are going to be the Ecamm Live Academy is going to start a week today. So a week today we're going to be starting things going in the Ecamm Live Academy, and we've got 2 weeks of training where over a week we drip out the content. Brand new content that Owen and I have been putting together. We've made nearly 70 videos re-recording all this because the navigation has changed. But actually we have stopped and we've gone back and said, all right, actually how would we teach this now? Would it be different if things change? So it's a brand new, fresh version of this. And the doors are open. Owen's just put a link in actually. Ecamm Live Academy. Love it. If you want to go and check this out and come and join us over there, it'd be an absolute pleasure to work with you in the Ecamm Academy next week. And tomorrow I'm going to be back with a fitness instructor.
I can't wait. I'm tuning in for that one.
Where actually we haven't got the fitness instructor here. She's in New York. She's a top level yoga instructor, and she was telling me actually the day she had 1,500 people on the last session, or one of the sessions she did recently. I don't know how you cope with that number. But actually, again, similar challenges. We've looked here at challenges of how we can set this up and do a nice job. She's going to want to be able to moving back from a distance and coming forwards. Again, as you said, looking on screen at how you can see that feedback. So I'm really enjoying this, and this whole concept of, it's one thing for me to sit at my desk and do these videos, but actually to bring the likes of Korp on and actually go, how would we do this? How can we have some fun? How could Ecamm really help you?
So I do remember joining your YouTube Academy. Probably a couple of years ago now, and just the insight I got from it, and not just the insight I got from it, but just knowing I was on the same path as so many other people. That's the bit that really helped me loads. And so even though I look at Ecamm now, because I've only just recently got it, I look at it now and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm lost with this. I know that the route I went through with YouTube's easy for me now. I know what I'm doing with that. Good. That will go through the same thing with Ecamm. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's kind
that'd be cool.
Getting it transitioned over.
Well, we literally start with unboxing on day one, right through to using pedals and things like this at the end of the week. All the training comes in week 1, and then the second week is really there to play. Probably similar to how you're used to working, really. That you kind of get all the technical bit out of the way, and then it's time to play. Well, maybe we'll challenge you to be doing a live into the group and showing us how you're working this. And
I'm a big fan of kind of showing your mistakes. When things go wrong. So I'm more than happy to kind of just jump in the group and say that this happened, this isn't working, or how do I get this, or I found something that is really helpful for me. This is might help other people as well. So I'm looking forward to that bit.
That's been one of the beauties. I think I would much rather watch a live, and this happened, and you'll hear me saying this next week. Occasionally someone comes on and something goes wrong and they panic and they're just hitting the kind of stop broadcast. Others will go, okay, let me try and work this out. And Valerie is one of our moderators, and others will then come in you know, and you can just go, have you tried this? Or just, you know, it's okay. We're all here. And it's lovely to watch people working it out live. And you're going, there's a button up there. Okay, where's this? It's a fantastic support group, really. And
crowd learning. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah, I enjoy
Love
that.
it. So thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in and seeing us. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you want to find out more about Korp, where can they come and check you out?
It would be best to go to my website, corporate.co.uk. So it's corporate with a K.
Okay, corporate.co.uk.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And I think we've already linked in the description to your channel on YouTube. So,
perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And as I say, thanks everyone for coming on and joining us. It's been the fun start to the week. Awesome. Thank you so much. See you guys. Bye.